This is Musical Talk, the UK's independent and longest running musical theatre podcast.
Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Musical Talk. I'm Nick Hudson. I hope you're well. We are, I'm using the speech marks, live today outside the Adelphi Theatre because we are attending the final performance in London of Back to the Future. And I'm here with my friends Chris and Nikki. Hello.
Hello.
We were at the first-ish production,
Pretty much,
6
weren't we?
years ago.
Yeah, just a moment, we're going to get our tickets checked, Nick, sorry. But yes, we were indeed. The Opera House in Manchester for the... I think we saw something like the third official show, didn't
Yeah.
we? And then it closed about a day later,
Yeah.
which we were so lucky to
First
see.
and the last, basically.
We absolutely loved it, haven't we, ever since the very
Yeah.
first day of seeing it. I mean, I think if you go back through the Musical Talk archive, you can
Yeah.
hear the three of our views on it, can't you? I think we did a podcast back then, didn't
Yeah, we did. In the bar at Chessington Wild Adventures, if I seem to remember.
On the very last day of the world is normal, so
Yeah.
it all went wrong after that. Anyway, let's not talk about that. But yes, I always fell in love with it from that very first performance, and I'm thrilled to be here for
And
the...
it's interesting because it's one of those shows that's survived everything, and there's a new documentary about the show if you watch it, and that is kind of the theme of this show. Is it kind of it did hit a lot of issues and problems and things, and
It reflects the film, though, doesn't it? I
Yeah.
mean,
I was going to say, as did Marty.
It took, yeah, absolutely. It took both of the, well, I'm thinking as well the story of the film as well, as in like Bob Zemeckis and Bob Gale. It took them a very long time to actually get any producers that were
I mean,
interested.
who'd have thought a story about a time-travelling fridge will actually be a success?
That would have been good. I'd love to see that on stage with the nuclear explosion. That would have been interesting, wouldn't it? No, I'm more thrilled to see a DeLorean, and I'm so thrilled to be here for the final day of it. Not the final ever day, of course. It's going on tour.
And it's been on cruise ships, it's been in
Yes.
Japan and Germany and lots of other places.
Rücken to Zukunft.
Gesundheit. But yeah, and there are fans here aplenty, aren't there? It's like a sort of sea of lifesaver.
I've seen this show many times before. I've never had to queue around the street to get in.
No.
So I think that shows the measure of the dedication of the people.
It's
that are
going
here
to be an
today.
exciting one today. So even Nick is wearing a life preserver. It's very exciting.
By accident.
Your shirt's quite similar as well.
Is it? There we go. And you're in your merch from the first.
Yes, from the very first performance in Manchester. Yes, rocking the original stuff.
Yeah. Weirdly, they did a kind of big event like 5 days ago.
Yeah, it was a bit of an odd one. They brought
Yeah.
back a load of the original cast from the Manchester run, the original London run as well. I mean, I presume they will do something today as well. We don't know. They might not do. It might just be a final
Standard
show, and
performance.
That's it. Goodbye.
Get out. We
Yeah.
need to do the get out. Go away.
But there was discussion about potentially Roger Bart particularly doing the role again somewhere. So let's start the rumours. Maybe he's gonna do the tour. Who knows? We'll find out.
That's what I'm expecting at the end of the day. Is I'll do a tour announcement and then might make announcements of certain cast members.
And Back to the Future, as we said on this podcast, is going to be hopefully big again in this country in a couple of years' time. So it's kind of nice just riding on that wave of.
I don't think they could have imagined it back in the 80s. It would still be this popular and this relevant now. But it's such a great story and such a great production.
Why is it lasted here and not on Broadway?
That's an interesting question. I think, in a weird way, and I might be wrong by saying this, but I think Back to the Future possibly has always been a bit more popular in the UK than it has been in America. It does seem to be a lot of a big following over here. Like, I
It's
remember,
really more British humour, isn't it?
in a weird way,
It's ridiculousness of it, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. And I'm just thinking, we went 10 years ago now to a 30th anniversary celebration in London, didn't we? And it was massive. There were so many people there, and I don't remember there being as big a thing. I mean, I don't live in America as it was as it was, but
Cast over here as well.
they did. So, it's not really an answer to your question, but I do think that it has always been quite popular in Britain. And I know you've said, like, you know a lot more about this sort of things than I do, Nick, but shows are much harder on Broadway to get them on there in the first place and to keep them running, aren't they?
Yeah, especially one of this scale.
Yes.
Absolutely. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the performance is. They're not doing an evening version, it's a matinee, which is quite nice. And we'll report back from inside the. We're not sitting together, so we won't be able to do it.
No, if we shout loudly, we might hear, but it might disturb people.
Maybe we can call each other and record the phone call. That one is over here at Back to the Future Musical. 3 hours later. We had a bit of a delayed entrance to the theatre, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. We were ended up queuing outside. I only got into our seat. I looked at it was only 15 minutes till showtime. I was like, blimey, so it was a bit tight cut. But we only started 6 minutes late. as they say, I love that they update the time. Like
Yes.
it said Adelphi Theatre 3:06
Yeah.
as it began. Yeah.
Th- this does remind me of seeing the show for the first time again, because like every single thing gets a round of applause, doesn't it? I mean, it's now, the show starts on a Sunday. It's now Wednesday here at the Adelphi Theatre. The musicians are on double overtime.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you say. I mean, you kind of we sort of said it before we came in, didn't we? But Marcy opens the door for the first time,
Yeah.
and 10 minutes later he's still standing there getting his round of applause. But it's
Well, Doc
fantastic.
Brown comes out the DeLorean
Yeah.
for the first
Oh,
time.
that went on forever, didn't it? But rightly so. This show is adored by its fans and by so many other people who come to see it as well. I haven't seen anyone who has come here who hasn't been wowed by it, and we've only seen the first half, which for anyone who has seen it, it's great. But the second act is where it really comes.
What's fascinating, there's a little kid in front of me who's never seen it.
See, I did think there will still be people who haven't
And
seen it. So.
he's a big fan of the film, and he kept just saying to
Oh,
his
yeah.
dad before it starts, how will they do the car? How's it going to go fast? It's like
This is what we were like 6 years
it's
ago.
like the film can't fit on the stage. How are they going to do it? And that's really nice to see that kind of level of excitement. And yes, there are lots of fans here, but they're not kind of prattling around on stage.
Oh, no, absolutely. There's a couple of bits that are going on a bit longer, like Corey.
They're always the bits that go on a bit kind of.
Exactly, you know, Corey I think is definitely hamming up some bits and doing an amazing forward roll halfway through one of the songs. Pretty
It's
impressive.
Chloe English who's playing Doc Brown. It's the first time I've ever seen him play this role.
Oh, is it? Have
And
you
if
not seen Corey?
If you go back to episode 3 of Musical Talk or something, he is on it
Yeah. Oh, is he?
when he was in The Producers
Oh, very nice.
at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane 1,000 years ago. But yeah, it's it's lovely to see this show again. My God, it's hot up here in the episode.
It's
Isn't it?
very hot up here.
We are in California, in Hill Valley, I think.
It's an incredible atmosphere, though, isn't it? Everyone's having an amazing time today, and I'm just so thankful. This is the 6th time I've seen this show. I'd know some people have seen it 600 times, but I'm so thrilled to be back here and seeing it one final time in the Adelphi. It's such a great production.
And it is going on tour.
It is going on tour. I'm looking forward to that. All over the country. Not near East Anglia, sadly. No one ever comes near us in East Anglia, but yeah, we're doing Bristol, Milton Keynes, Manchester, quite a few other places. So yeah.
Be interesting to see how it tours. Obviously, we're not going to have the full lighting rig that extends beyond the cross arch. We might do, I don't know.
I'm intrigued by that as to how all that's going to work. Mind you, I on a sort of side note, I'm impressed to see it fits on a flicking cruise ship. I mean, I saw a video of it the other day, and to be fair, I mean, obviously they can't film the whole show, but it doesn't look like it loses much, actually. They've done a good job.
And they cut a lot of the superfluous stuff as well, so it's only like a sort of 90-minute production, I think.
They've reduced it, which you need to for a cruise ship, obviously. You can't have a 2.5-hour show on there, but fantastic.
Spending money if you're sitting down.
But fantastic to see how well it does seem to transfer onto that, and so hopefully the tour will transfer very well as well. So
And do you think we'll have sort of post-show speeches today
I'd be
if Bob
surprised
Gale
if
is
we
here?
don't. I mean, I think Bob Gale lives in the Adelphi too. He's going to move out after today. But I hope so. They did some on Thursday, which seemed a bit strange, about 4 shows before the end. But I'd be amazed if we don't get something at the end of the show tonight. Surely they'll do something.
Let's hope so. We'll let you know. Thanks, Chris.
Of course, it is sad, and excuse me if I get a little bit emotional. I think you can understand why. Although it's sad that we're leaving this venue, I must say that you are all going to leave with the memories of this show as your last memory. And this was a fucking great show. In 2018, thanks to producer Colin Ingram, London became the home of Back to the Future the musical, first at the Dominion Theater where we did our early workshops, and then in 2021, the Adelphi became our home. And there couldn't be a better home for us to have had. This building was full of some of the most talented, nicest people in the world that I have ever met. And everybody contributed to making Back to the Future the musical the best creative experience of my life. So thank you to the cast, to everybody at the Adelphi, to everybody who's been here from the beginning, everybody where the knowledge gets passed on and on. This has been absolutely incredible. I like to believe that Back to the Future brings out the best in everybody. It brings out the best. It brings out the best in the people who work on the show. It brings out the best in the audiences who experience the show once, twice, 5 times, 10 times. Oh yeah. So it is always hard to leave home. It is. But as we leave home, please cherish all the wonderful memories that you have of being here, of all the friendships that you've made, of all the life-changing moments that you've had, and take those with you into your future. I said this on the opening night, I'll say it again, this one's for the dreamers. So believe in your dreams, put your mind to it, so you can make them come true, just as everybody here has made my dreams come true. Thank you, everyone. 1.21 gigathanks. And God willing, our paths will cross again in the future.
You heard a very moving speech there from Bob Gale, and of course, he did come out as we thought he would, of course. Thoughts, Chris and Nikki?
Wow, I mean, yeah, it's my favourite show I think I've ever seen, you know, so it was always going to be good. We were discussing how certain lines get certain reactions from the audience, and obviously they always do, and you know, on the first show we ever saw they did, but tonight it was like, say a line, clap, 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 clap. It was, yeah, like it kind of almost took twice as long to get through the show, didn't it?
But also, I mean, we've been in that theatre for 3 hours and 15 minutes. It was, but also incredibly moving, because come the end of the piece, when Doc Brown says to Marty, like, "We'll ever see you again," there was a genuine gulp in, yeah.
It all sort of stopped, didn't he? And clapped with us, yeah, the film.
And then the hug between George and Mark for a little while now, but
And for me, it's the theatrics of the show that I always enjoy, all the material. But the bit I kind of was sad by was I will never see those amazing sequences again. I mean, as I said, this every time we talk about this show, the last 20 minutes.
Oh, that's
Just magic.
phenomenal. There's nothing else like it. And I think you were saying to me in the interval, Nick, I can't remember if you put this in the podcast or not, so sorry if we were filtering it, but you said to me in the interval, there was a kid near you who had not seen it before, but they knew the films, and they were just saying the whole way through, well, how are they going to do that? And I just thought, that's where we were 6 years ago. But
And it's what every friend that I have that I recommend this show to said, yeah, but does it really work on stage? And I'm like, absolutely, 100% yes. And looking forward to seeing what they do with the tour, because obviously they will be doing it again, but how will they do it? Will it be the same? Will it be slightly
I think so, because Twins Effects that make the car effects, they do pantomimes all over the country, so they are very good at tailoring these effects for every kind of theatre, and the show does need the kind of coup de théâtre moment, but I think it'll be fine, but it's just... Excuse me.
I mean, I was thinking.
Okay, I'll jump in. I was thinking when you when we were watching that final sequence just now, there are bits of it that I still can't quite tell what's real and what isn't. And
Probably not.
yes, if you look into it and watch one of the documentaries like you guys have of those, you can find out. But I kind of don't want to because it's magic.
magic.
And it's almost dream.
Reveal that much though, does it?
No, not about the technical side of it. No, you're right. It's more about sort of the creation of it and how much like the film it sort of got rejected about 2 million times before they eventually got it.
So it ties into the whole "this is for the dreamers," and it is the kind of life imitating art thing. You know, anything cool is a struggle.
Yeah.
And they probably felt that really, you know, the pathos tonight was amazing. And I love the bit, roads, where we're going, and then the whole audience just
Said it.
Bob said, "You will never forget this afternoon you were here," and I don't think I ever will. That's why I wanted to talk about it on this show, because it has come full road.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the atmosphere was incredible in there tonight, you know, and it was packed with nearly, you know, I mean, we had a bit at the end where we went through how many people had seen it. There's somebody who's seen it 325 times, supposedly, in that theatre, which is pretty incredible. I feel like Paltry 6 is quite disappointing in comparison, but I've seen, yeah, like I say, 6 times, not as many as that person, but I've loved it every single time. I don't think you even have to love the films. I think if you just love theatre and special effects and just feel a great story, feel good theatre. That's what it is for me. It's just such a feel good show. I feel so happy and so elated whenever I see Back to the Future, the musical. And I think we've just discussed the clock tower sequence. It's been done so many times in so many ways, 3 different times in the films, let alone all the other various places I've seen bits of it. I don't know. Am I going to say it? I think it's my favourite version of it. I absolutely love the one they're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much, Back to the Future. And Colin Ingram came out and gave a lovely speech and acknowledged the whole crew. And
That was lovely that they got the whole
everyone.
band, people backstage, and everyone all came on stage, which meant we had to wait a bit while they went back down into the pit before you could do the final sign off. But yes,
And yeah, and thank you two for joining me on this journey. And
it's been quite an adventure, hasn't it, since Manchester 2020.
yeah. But anyway, we have to go because they're shutting the coffee shop. But thank you, Chris. Thank you, Nikki. And thank you for listening to this short but entertaining episode of Musical Talk. And we'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
This episode of Musical Talk, copyright 2026, apart from the songs where the copyright persists with the original creators. For more information on Musical Talk, please visit our website at musicaltalk.co.uk or follow us on X, Instagram and YouTube.